coming up, we'll have more analysis of the impact of Western measures against Russia with Loic FERY. He's chief executive of Chenavari. That's coming up shortly, and this is Bloomberg. We're underestimating something seizing up, so a big payment not being made to someone and actually, reliving the 08 crisis.
I mean, before talking about crisis and everything, I'd like to have also some consideration for the Ukrainian and the Russian people, because most of those people today are suffering the consequences, including Russian people, of a leader that has gone clearly off path.
Surprising move, by BP to actually sell Rosneft. I mean, surprising because just 10 days ago, the chief executive didn't want to talk about Russia, and it wasn't really on the cards that he would divest from it. Is there a moral duty for asset managers to get out of Russia, and what impact does that have on markets?
Yeah, I think there is. I think the same way we see governments pulling out of Russia, imposing sanctions, the same way we see now the public world basically also, exercising pressure. BP is a good example. I think as asset manager, we have a moral duty, not just to our investors, but who are keen about, knowing about where the exposures are. But I think simply, we don't want that to happen in the world. I don't want to live in a world where, we talk a lot about ESG, and, I think as a principle, we shouldn't have any vulture fund or any investors now trying to jump in and finance the Russian economy. Until this is over, we want to go back to a peace environment.
So, yeah, and Loic, I guess there was worry about liquidity at some point. So is volatility the name of the game? And do you worry about these European banks that have still quite a lot of exposure? We underestimate how Europe as a region is exposed to Russia. No,
but the SWIFT exemption is a very bold move from Europe, and we can understand that there's been some reflection before that. Clearly, I mean, you have quite a few large financial institutions that are owed money by Russian banks. You have large financial institutions that have equity in Russia. So you typically, take a risk that, those value may be at risk. But once again, I'd like to, this be seen as a call to my peers, to the big asset managers of the world, not mentioning the Blackstone, BlackRock, Amundi, and so on. I think we have a responsibility to shy away immediately from Russia until this is over.
All right.